1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, oof.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, the Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, Rob. Let's get those pick'ems going.
Oh, yes, it's time to pick them. We got also the injury report. Also, we got a brand new Giant here. You don't think of that, like right before, a week 2 matchup here, where the Giants claimed a new player off waivers there. So we're going to go over that with you guys as well. And it's one that if you're a New York sports fan in general, you may be, pretty aware of him here. Maybe paid close by, perhaps in the same exact building even. Who knows? Never know. Alrighty, guys. Before we get to the new player, let's go through a little bit of news that popped out recently. That's not necessarily related to the week 2 matchup here, but so it's kind of interesting here. So, first off, we got to talk about a guy that, quite frankly, we don't talk about really enough as Giant fans as a whole. A guy that is basically, the unsung hero of the Giants, because he was technically a Super Bowl winning quarterback for this franchise. There's been 3. People think there's 2. They forget the other guy. The Haas. Jeff Hostetler. And listen, guys, I don't know why it took so long for news to come out on this here. I guess because, back in the day, there wasn't as much media coverage in football and all. It wasn't, all the media there is nowadays between social media and, schmucks like us with mics and all. But there's a new book coming out, and I will plug the book since that's where it came from here a little bit here. ESPN's Jordan Raanan coming out with a book, The Franchise New York Giants, A Curated History of Big Blue. And just for the record, this is not a sponsored post. We're just giving you a heads up of where this information came from. Since it wasn't us who reported it, it's fair to give that news. He released an excerpt from the book there. And it says, Hostetler spent the whole week leading up to the Super Bowl tending to his left leg. It wasn't great, but there was no way he was going to miss the biggest game of his life. All these years later, Hostetler said he had suffered a torn ACL in his knee. He says, I'm one of the very few that had enough other things going on structure-wise that I was able to continue to function. Goddamn.
Savage.
Played an entire game with the torn ACL. And I should say this as well. They didn't even say when he tore his ACL. Like, I doubt he tore it, like, the first play of the game. So I'm kind of interested in that. Like, was he play the first half healthy? Either way, it's still badass if he did. But I'm saying, did he play the first half healthy? Did he come into the game with a torn ACL and he knew that and still made that decision to play? Like, whew, that's absolutely insanity. Like, ridiculous.
Especially back in those days. That's just kind of what you did.
I feel like they might have done that more often back in those days. So,
Yeah, just nut up or shut up.
Yeah, like that's what I kind of feel like. It's like I don't want to sound like the old man now, but I am old, so I can do it. Like that's like one of those moves. Like back in my day, we used to play with torn ACLs, and apparently they did. Like legit. Those who are wondering, by the way, the backup quarterback was Matt Cavanaugh. If you haven't heard of Matt Cavanaugh, That's because no one has heard of Matt Cavanaugh, basically.
Not even his mother.
That was actually his last season as an NFL player. Yeah, he's actually had a decent length career as a backup. I mean, he was in the league for 13 years, but that was his last year. Actually, I'm sorry, that was his second to last year. I'm looking at his stats now. That's his second to last year. So towards the end of his career there at that point, he had 19 starts in the 13 seasons. So again, career backup guy. Like, let's be very frank. If Hostetler doesn't play that game, then we probably don't have a fourth ring. Like, that's how important that move was for this franchise. In that game, 20 of 32, 222 yards, and a touchdown, along with 6 carries for 10 yards. Are you freaking kidding me? With a torn ACL.
They don't make them like they used to.
Like, absolutely insanity. Don't get me wrong. Hostetler was never that guy that you're like, is that Peyton Manning out there? Like, he's not the guy who's going to throw 500 yards in a game. But that was a damn efficient game. Now, if you're a Giants fan and you haven't gone back and watched that game, by the way, especially if you aren't old enough to have watched it at the time, and I was a kid. I mean, I was in, it's like, third grade when that happened. So, but if you aren't familiar with how that game went, watch that game. Just watch it. It's available somewhere, I'm sure, to watch afterwards. And now you can watch it with a brand new respect for a man who point blank played with a torn ACL. I can't keep saying that enough because that is badass.
That is so crazy. Like, I can't believe, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys that go down and cry about it, and they just showed up and did this thing.
Now we have quarterbacks that are painting their fingernails instead.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what we have, guys. Like I said, different era, I guess, at that point there. But I think part of it is the business aspect. Let's be honest here. Guys, now, if you get hurt and you end your career, you could have cost yourself millions of damn dollars. Jeff Hostetler was not ever going to get paid $50 million a year to be a quarterback. And he still got paid. I mean, he went to the Raiders afterwards to be a quarterback for them for a few years as well. And I think it went up to the Commanders, I want to say, at one point as well, too. Like, I have to look it up to verify. But obviously, they weren't called the Commanders back then, the Redskins back then. But I don't even know, what his career earnings was. But he still risked money, but just nowhere near what he risked, he was playing nowadays. That's for damn sure. But absolutely insane. And again, the way that, and I was right. It was with the Redskins in '97. Was the last year. But absolutely insane. And that game as a whole was, like I said, it's crazy how the Giants literally played in not just 4 Super Bowls, but 4 of the best goddamn Super Bowls to watch. I'm not even saying as a Giant fan. Like, this game, spoiler if you haven't watched it yet, wide right field goal at the end of the game for the Giants to win, and they literally won because of that missed field goal. Like, that's how insanely close that game was, and point blank, it should have been made. It was like a makeable. It wasn't like they were going for a 65-yard Hail Mary field goal to hopefully win a Super Bowl. Like, it was definitely winnable. Right here in Tampa, actually, is where that game was. I remember it very vividly. Even as a kid, Whitney Houston did the Star Spangled Banner, not the God Bless America, the Star Spangled Banner. And I want to say New Kids on the Block was the halftime show. New Kids on the Block. Damn, yeah. Hanging tough. We're rough. And we can't hear you at all. At least I can't. You're muted. Here.
Did you mute me? Hey, you sent it.
I didn't mute you. I don't mute you. I promise. You mute yourself.
Oh, stop.
Listen, if I wanted to mute you, I would just do it, damn it. See? Like I just did right now. I admit it when I do it. That's what I do. But yeah, you throw that into the mix. You throw in the 86 season when they had the Rose Bowl, Super Bowl with Phil Simms and John Elway combining to do probably the most efficient passing, game ever in the Super Bowl. It was insane. Like the passing completion percentage of both those guys, especially back in the 80s. Then you throw in the helmet catch to beat the undefeated Patriots. Then you throw in the second time beating the Patriots with that amazing Manningham catch and last minute back and forth. Like I said, the Giants just played in some of the best Super Bowls in the history of the NFL, guys. And I don't think this one gets enough credit. that 90 season, even though it was 91 when it happened, but the 90 season, like I don't think that one gets enough credit. It's probably was talked about, 10 times less than the two Eli ones. And I get the time frame one. It was still a damn good game. And I want to rewatch it now. I want to watch it with a little bit more like appreciation for what Hostetler did.
Just watch him hop around. Eek, eek.
And he wasn't, at least as a kid, I remember that. It's been a couple years since I rewatched it. And I rewatched it, and I don't remember that either. So, don't get me wrong, he didn't look like he was nimble and moving around like, Lamar Jackson, but he never did.
Yeah.
It wasn't the game back then. So, but yeah, like I said, interesting thing. Like I said, I think Giants fans need to have a new respect for Hostetler, knowing that. Not they shouldn't respect it to begin with. Like I said, he's kind of the forgotten Super Bowl quarterback for us, but definitely, like I said, a badass move. So thanks, Haas.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Seriously. All right, let's talk about a guy who is just a buffoon on TV. Let's just call it like it is. A buffoon on TV. He's a buffoon on the sidelines when he was a coach. Now he's a buffoon on TV. He's just buffoonery all around there. Rex Ryan, who's demanding that it's time for Jaxson Dart. Let me just tell you guys. If you, and don't get me wrong, Daboll's not a good coach. Let me just flat out say that before I say this. If you think that Rex Ryan is a guy to take head coaching advice from, then yeah, point blank, Daboll should have been fired if he thinks that. Should have been fired last year. And don't get me wrong, we still think he should have been fired last year. But I'm just saying, Rex Ryan is not the guy to take advice from. There's a reason he hasn't been in the league in forever, and the only anybody will hire him for a job is ESPN. Just saying.
Pretty much.
You don't think he wants to coach? Every single time there's an opening, he's on the TV going, I would take the job. I would take the job. You would sign up to coach the little Giants, let alone the actual Giants. Rex Ryan, shut up. Here's what he said on ESPN's Get Up, which whatever the hell that is, I haven't had cable in forever. He says, "You've got to put Dart in because Russell Wilson can't play anymore. And I don't know what the hell you're doing with him. There's never an easy time. Everybody has good players. What are you afraid of? Is it going to be worse? Hell no. Put him out there, let him go, let him ride, and let's see." First off, the let him ride.
Did he forget what organization?
The only way to pick that up as I'm reading it, let him ride. Is that a little shot at Russell Wilson? Let's ride there. I mean, is that unlimited? What the hell? He goes on to say, look, if all of a sudden this guy becomes a real player, which we all assume he will, I think the kid's got talent. He's looked really good. He outplayed Russell Wilson head and shoulders in the preseason. Put him in there. What are you doing? You're going to play a guy that can't do it anymore. Stop. Listen, I'm of the mindset of, I told you guys already, that I'm not willing to give it much more time for this ship to turn around. But if you're forcing it out there week 2, and you're making the change in week 2, and you're so unsure of your plan you had going into the season that one game changes your entire outlook on the season,
you probably had
then I could never have been more right before when I'm calling for Brian Daboll's job.
Yeah.
One game to rule them all. But that's not how it's supposed to be. You understand that sometimes there's just bad games. I get it for us overreacting, so to speak, as fans, because goddamn, that was pitiful. And goddamn, we're tired of 3 years of crap. But when it boils down to it, you can't be that way if you're running a goddamn NFL franchise. You cannot.
Yeah, you have to have some consistency. You have to have some patience. And listen, there's a reason why we put the money into Russ to bring him here. And if you're sitting there trying to think, the rookie quarterback to come against the Cowboys, who have literally had our number for the past 13 games.
Yep.
You start him then to build his confidence, to smash it down. Are we going to beat? Do you think we can beat the Cowboys with him or without him? Is the defense going to win this game? Let's be real. Let's have the conversation. Is that defense going to is our offensive line going to hold up? Is Andrew Thomas going to play? These are things you got to think about too. If you're just going through a dart out there to the Wolves, you're literally setting them up to fail.
And if you thought that little of Russell Wilson after 1 week, you never should have signed him. That was a dumb signing, point blank. If you feel that little, and again, I'm talking from the coaching front office perspective, not from the fan perspective. That's ridiculous. An utterly insane, point blank. Now, I will say this. I've said before on record on the show, I think if we're not better within a couple weeks, week 5, you start the kid and just move on and see what you got in this kid. The more and more I'm thinking about it, honestly, I'm starting to move up my timeline. And here's the only reason why. At the end of this season, and again, we're doing this based on 1 week of football. And listen, the Giants could go out on Sunday and kick the Cowboys' ass, and all of a sudden we go, okay, we were wrong. This team's ready to go. It's just a bad week, and we change around. It will happen that quick if the Giants look good on Sunday. Let me be the first of guys to assure you that.
Listen,
y'all will do it. It'll be all like, oh, that was just a bad week, I guess. We all overreact.
Literally, I was trying to say Sunday after the game.
Yeah, like we all overreact week by week. And if that happens, I will take back what I'm about to say, point blank. But if we continue to look really bad, then I want Dart to start as quick as possible for this reason. For this reason. Gable's going to be gone. We're going to have potentially a really good draft pick, and we have a decision to make. Not to mention the fact that we have a decision to make when it comes to picking a coach. Because what will happen is, and this is not fair of this kid whatsoever, let me be the first to assure you guys this. What will happen is Jaxson Dart will start auditioning for the next coach to convince him to come to New York, train up Jaxson Dart, and build around him. And one of two things is going to happen. He's going to play good, and that's going to convince a coach to want to come here. Or he's going to play bad, and another coach is saying, you know what, I'll come here, but I'm drafting my own quarterback. I don't like this kid.
Yeah, that's 100% what's going to happen.
How sad is that we can actually say that, and that's a legit statement after 1 week of football?
And listen, if we're going to go down the ifs too, you also have to take consideration as well. If you put in Dart and he's playing pretty good football, not the best, it actually could save Davis's job. Yeah, because he could just be like, listen, the kids came in early, he had a rough start, offensive line has some issues. He definitely has something for the future, and we're stuck with him any longer.
Exactly. And at the very least, he's going to be more mobile. He'll probably play better. And it's going to be the better move for this year. But like I said, at this point, I just feel like that's where the road we're going down. And again, it's off of 1 week. A lot can change the next week or two. But I feel like that's the road. But again, to reverse course and change every goddamn thing you're doing because of one bad game would be absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. That'd be such an overreaction. You cannot hire someone to be the person who literally runs your team, runs your franchise, that would react that flippant over 1 week.
Yeah.
So this is why Rex Ryan doesn't have a job. Point blank.
It's the reason why he has a tattoo of Mark Sanchez.
Did he ever cover that up?
I'm not sure. I have to assume he did.
Can we also say that Rex Ryan is not the guy to teach you how to take care of a quarterback, considering what he did to Mark Sanchez? I mean, let's be honest. Mark Sanchez had 2 really great years back-to-back to start his career. And then the team slowly but surely, instead of building around him, took everything away from him, thinking he's the next Tom Brady, apparently can do it by himself. And he faltered big time. It took away his running back, took away his offensive line, took away his wide receivers. You can't do that. You can't. Rex Ryan is not someone to listen to. Ignore him.
He's also
funny sometimes. He's funny sometimes, and I probably enjoy a drink with the guy. Like I probably would sit there at a bar and drink with that man and probably be entertained.
Oh hell yeah!
But people that just love to yell in a bar and bullshit. I feel like that's Rex Ryan. Like you would never take him seriously in a conversation, but he'd entertain you, especially when drunk.
So he's the guy that when he says "buy me a beer," he's looking for a pitcher.
Yes, yeah, basically. Let's talk about the newest New York football giant here, guys. Because the Giants got a new wide receiver. A new one. Which we might need this week based on injuries, but we'll get into that later on. Xavier Gipson, who, if you're a New York fan in general of football and sports, you might recognize the name there. He's the guy that was just cut by the Jets because he fumbled week 1. We'll get more into that there in a minute here with you guys. Originally, he was a undrafted rookie free agent from Stephen F. Austin State. Rob, have you ever freaking heard of Stephen F. Austin State?
I thought it was Stavin.
It's like Stone Cold's like half brother. Like what the hell is that? I had to look it up, and it's in some town in Texas that I have no clue how to pronounce. Like I wouldn't even attempt to pronounce it point blank. And it looks like a high school football stadium. Like that's how small the school is. 5'9", 189 pounds. He's gonna fit right in over their wide receiver room. My God. Like, if you have a tiny receiver, we have a team for you. This last year here, 24, he had 6 catches, 39 yards, a touchdown, and 1 rush for 5 yards. The year before his rookie year, 21 catches, 229 yards, 8 rushes, and 69 yards. So listen, I mean, he's proven he's got a little bit of NFL skill there. His big thing is kicks. He is a kick returner, punt returner. That's what he is. He's a special teams guy.
Yeah, a lot of those.
He literally led the league in number of punt returns last year, which, again, is not something good on him as much as good on the defense for the Jets, to be honest with you, because that means they're forcing punts. But he averaged 8.9 yards per punt return for his career with a touchdown. He also averages 26 yards per kickoff return as well, which is actually very good. But again, you got the fumble. He fumbled against the Steelers, and that's what made them go, yep, we're done. And Aaron Glenn decided to make an example of him, basically. An example of him. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Let me ask you this. What do you think would happen if Justin Fields fumbled?
He's going to. It's just a matter of time.
But I'm saying absolutely nothing. They wouldn't have cut Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest BS symbolic move ever. Oh, I've cut this guy because he fumbled, and we're teaching the team that we're not going to tolerate that kind of action. BS.
So if you're on the fourth
tolerate
string,
it from who you're willing to tolerate it from.
Yeah. So if you're on the fourth string, watch out if you drop the ball.
Yeah. But if you're Garrett Wilson, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not even knocking Garrett Wilson. I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving an example. Like, you're not going to cut a guy who you actually think is a ton of talent. So let's be very frank. They cut him because they didn't think he was good enough for the team.
Pretty much.
Let's just call it like it is. Now, I looked up, because I'll be honest with you guys. Again, we're a Giants podcast. I don't pretend to watch every single snap for the Jets. I looked up to see how often he fumbles, because I think that's the biggest thing in this. Like, was that a one-off? No. 10 fumbles in 35 career games. That's not good, guys.
So about 30% of the time.
Yeah. Now, I don't have the numbers to say how many number of punts or kickoff returns and how many of them are, whether it be rushes because he did it 9 times or catches and he just, fumbled it trying to get some yak. I don't have the numbers on that. I wish I did. But that's a goddamn high number. 10 fumbles in 35 games. Like, that's like a fumble every 3.5 games. Yes, I did the math. You can too. It's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 5 fumbles a season. That's like something like you complain if a starting running back has that many fumbles.
No, that's your. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depth piece.
Like, so, yeah, I got to say, guys, I'm not excited about this move. I'm really not. I mean, I guess the biggest thing I can say is nice about it is at least he doesn't have to move. He's still in the same stadium.
Still live in Hoboken.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like I said, not a move that I'd be excited about by any stretch of the imagination, guys. All right, let's get into the injury report for this upcoming game here for week 2 against the Cowboys, because there's a lot of guys to go over, guys. After week 1, and we're like, oh, look, we're actually healthy for once. Yeah, fooled you. We're not anymore. So, Malik Nabers. Got to talk about him. He's got a back injury. He's listed as a limited participant in Wednesday, full participant on Thursday. I don't think there's any concerns about him not playing, though. Obviously, if you are talking, any injury can tweak and change up as the week goes. But as of right now, he would be playing. Wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, ankle injury. Did not practice on Wednesday, limited participant on Thursday. Everything I'm hearing, he is expected to play. It's not that serious. They just want to keep him rested and kind of keep the weight off of it so it doesn't swell up on him during the game, basically. Wide receiver Darius Slayton, groin injury, limited practice on Thursday, full participant, and not even on the list for today for yesterday on Wednesday. So we got to find out, like, did he hurt his groin during the practice? The kind of little mum on that kind of stuff. They will give you what they got to give you. So limited today, full participant leading up to it. But now you got your three major receivers all injured.
Not a good.
That's not great. That's not great, guys. Especially when offense has been the problem. Like, we're having trouble getting points on the board, and our top three receivers are all on their injury list. That's great. That's just spectacular. If only, like, as long as nobody else is injured, right? Oh, wait. Oh, Andrew Thomas, of course. We still have him issues. As we said to you guys yesterday on the show, he did not practice on Wednesday. That was part of the recovery plan. He was a limited participant today. We will find out what's going to happen with him on Sunday. We do not know. I'm going to say this. I have no inside knowledge. I'm just guessing he's not going to play. This is just the vibe I get from what I'm hearing from people that aren't saying anything directly, but kind of between the lines. When you look at reports, I don't think he's going to play. I hope I'm wrong. We need him. But I hope he's healthy if he comes out. I don't want him going out there hobble. I want him healthy.
Yeah, don't force him. I mean, we kind of talked about that before the season started. It could take up to week 4, but
yeah,
listen,
we don't know.
I'm fine with that. Like, I want him back. I want him back 100%.
Yeah, I want him back. Defensive lineman Rakeem Nunez-Roches Nacho has a foot injury, was a limited participant on Thursday. Looks like he should be good to go for the game. Linebacker Micah McFadden has officially been moved to the IR. We kind of expected that to happen, obviously, because he just had surgery. Obviously, he's not playing anytime soon. It's not something you usually do after surgery. So Xavier Gipson was the move that basically cross-referenced that. So we lose a linebacker, we gain a wide receiver, which makes complete sense, of course. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. I've seen that.
As long as no other linebackers are injured, we should be fine. So let's see who the next player is. Oh, wait, linebacker Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles also injured. Calf injury, limited participant on Wednesday. Did not practice on Thursday. So, yeah, that's not good. Now, if he can't play hypothetically, and again, he's a special teamer mostly, but it's what he would play on defense as linebacker, you're going to be with, at that point, Bobby Okereke, Darius Muasau, and Chris Ford at linebacker. That's it. I mean, I guess if you want to include Abdul Carter, because they can throw him there if he hits, but what the hell?
Yeah.
It's pretty late in the linebacker spot there.
Something we talked about in the offseason.
Yeah, we did. Dexter Lawrence, I should also mention, did not practice on Wednesday, but that was for good reasons. He actually, his wife gave birth to their first child. So he was back at practice today, but congrats to the whole Lawrence family.
They're all doing the dance in the hospital.
Yeah. I got to say, if I was him, I would still take today off too, eventually. Sorry, I just had a kid. I'm taking paternity leave 2-3 days. Like, that's okay. It's not he hasn't played forever. Like, he knows the defense now. He's played. This is the second year, in that system that we have now, the Shane Bowen. He'd be fine. Plus, at least he can't get hurt if he's not practicing.
Touche.
Yes. And on the Cowboys side, cornerback, like I said, Darren Bland is, like I said, foot injury. We talked about him on the last one. He's still listed on their injury report, but we know he's going to miss several weeks according to all the reports. Just played in 7 games last year, and of course led the league in interceptions back in 23. Free safety Malik Hook has a foot injury. He's limited participant both yesterday and today. So Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll have to see what happens with him overall. We don't know yet if he's going to be in the game or not. He was a starter. I should say is a starter at free safety for him. 17 games last year, 85 tackles, 2 interceptions. Cowboys that are on IR or listed as out. Running back Phil Maffa, who's the 7th round pick running back they got from Clemson. I gotta give this one. This one's for John. Which I'm not talking about John Elway. I'm talking about the Broncos. That's right here. Isn't that crazy? I still think this one's for John. I think the Elway thing automatically. But yeah, you guys have been around for a while. You know John. Jonathan Mingo. 17 catches last year, 167 yards. Time split between the Cowboys and the Panthers. Linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, also out for the Cowboys. 90 tackles last year and just 13 starts, which was his rookie season last year. Speaking of rookies, Siobhan Revell Jr., the 3rd round pick they got from East Carolina, the corner that actually had a lot of promise, I thought. He's out. Kaleon Carson, also another corner, out. 6 games last year for them. For him, it was 77 tackles. And he had some starts in there, too. I think he had 5 starts last year with them. Josh Butler, another corner, out as well. 5 games last year with 25 tackles. So, yeah, I think it's definitely something it's safe to say that the Cowboys are a little weak in secondary right now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking 1 corner recently hurt now to go 4 corners out. 4. The 1 position. Like that's pretty bad. And if the Giants can't take advantage of that and actually get a passing offense going, woo-hoo.
If we get a passing offense, that's if we have receivers to pass too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the receivers our side are all hurt too. It's almost like hurt versus hurt. Like that's kind of the matchup we have now. Is it's just everybody's hurt. So we'll have to see what happens there. But like I said, it's we got a lot of players that we kind of need that are on that list, guys. If the Giants have a shot in hell of winning, we need receivers. Let's be very frank about that off the bat. We need linebackers. Like we're not talking about a player we need. We're talking about full-on positions we need to play already.
The whole position. Replace the whole position.
Yeah. And like I said, if Andrew Thomas is actually healthy and able to play, I will be very, very happy. Like that'll actually give me a little bit of hope until our first offensive drive is 3 down, and then I'm back to pressing it. So, well, anyway, guys, it's that time. It's that time. It's that time to pay the bills and come back and do the week 2 picks.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
Alrighty, guys, before we get into the picks here, let's go over you guys' comments here real quick here. Debs said, hey, kids, I pulled myself away from Thursday Night Football. Well, the nice thing is, it's halftime right now, so everybody can pull themselves away. It's 14-3 Packers, by the way, for those of you guys who are watching live with us here. If you're not watching us live and you're watching us recorded, by the way, it was 14-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
So, Anthony says, hey, all that's up, man. He says, Dev, the Commanders can't move the ball. That's disturbing since they rolled our defense last week. Yeah, well, let's be honest. There's a little bit of a defensive difference between the Packers and the Giants, just based on what we saw last week. That's for damn sure. Jay Snow, what's good, fellas? What's up, man? Deb says, right, AC. Jay Stowe, it's insane to watch the game Thursday night and see what football is supposed to look like. I know. At least good luck to watching the Packers, especially. Jay Stowe says, did you just make that guy up? And that's talking about the backup quarterback for the Giants in the Super Bowl. No, he did not. He did not. Deb says, I remember that season well, could not believe Haas actually won the Super Bowl. I know, and now I can't believe it anymore. A Super Bowl with a torn ACL. It's insane. That's just insane. Bless you. And Jason says, if Haas doesn't hold on to the ball and take a safety, doesn't hold on to that ball and take a safety, they probably lose. Yeah. Smart player. Deb says, I think Haas went to the Raiders after that and never did much. Yeah, he went to the Raiders for a couple of years and then went to Washington for 1 year. So didn't do much, but did get a chance to start at least in the league. Jay Stetson said, I watched it. They only have it in black and white. No, they don't. They have it in color. It hasn't been that long. 1991, we're talking here. 42 got to be the best. Yeah, probably is. But like I said, they're all good. All the Giants Super Bowls were good. H-Town, Texas. Packers fly to the ball. Multiple hats to the ball. Mara signed the blank check for Jeff Hafley to become the head coach. Giants must get back to smash mouth football. It's the only way. Yeah, I mean, anybody at this point.
It's the only way, Luke.
Yes. I mean, listen, I'm not going to get into prospective people to replace Dable after 1 week. Like, I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. Within a couple of weeks, we'll probably want to have that discussion. But, yeah, it's just a little too early for me. I can't quite do it. You know what I feel like if I do that, I'm giving up all hope. You know, like you're just kind of throwing in the towel. I can't. Yeah. Not for 1 week. Dev said, remember he wore a brace in the knee, but did not know he got a torn ACL. Yeah, he kept it quiet apparently. Jason, this is Rex Ryan's gluteus maximus. He says, I'm sick of listening to him. Yeah, everybody pretty much is. Everybody's sick. Let's be honest. Everybody's sick of listening to ESPN. There's a reason why ESPN is dying out, besides the fact that cable is dying out as a whole. Like, it's just, all it is now is former athletes pretending like they know everything about all sports. Like,
pretty much.
Like, do you guys really think Damian Woody knows a whole lot about hockey or basketball? Like, let's be honest here, guys. Like, that's the biggest issue. All these like all sports shows, like, and I see other people on YouTube and stuff too. It's not just ESPN; it's people everywhere that want to talk all sports. It's impossible to know everything in sports. This is why you pick a team or a sport
or a goofball.
Well, that's why we did it that way. Like, we don't front. I can't sit there and say every single goddamn player in the NFL. I have work. I have a life outside of this. Like, I can't do it. So, you know, we stick to what we know. We know the Giants. We know every single damn player on the roster. We know all the problems. I would say we know what to do well, but I don't know what to do well. That's the problem. So,
you just do the Giants.
Yeah. So, as Deb says, yeah. Jason says, we got to see what this week looks like. They have to be competitive. Agreed. Anthony says, if they look good, Drew, big if. I'm agreeing with you on that. But if they look good, people will stop complaining about last week. And they go, okay, that was just a fluke. That was a bad week. And you know what? The season's not over after 1 week, and the season's not turned around after one win either. Both of them are overreactions.
Well, there's a big difference between starting the season off 2-0 and 0-2, and 1-1. You're right there in the middle. So,
yep. Still hope. Anthony says, I think if Dart comes in and plays well, it definitely saves Dave's job. Yeah, probably does. Which is maybe a reason not to do it, but that's a whole separate issue. Deb said, I remember when Buddy Ryan walked down the sideline to punch Kevin Gilbride, the Houston Oilers OC. Oh my God, I don't remember that at all. I don't think I ever heard about that. Which is, you know, obviously Kevin Gilbride. I'm assuming that you're talking about the same Kevin Gilbride who was our OC with the Eli years. I can't imagine there's a lot of Kevin Gilbrides in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Buddy Ryan was kind of a schmuck, let's be honest. Like, he wasn't known to be a nice guy. No, it's like Rex and Rob, yeah, I was trying to remember his brother's name, Rob, are both kind of like loudmouth, brash people. But I don't think they're schmucks. But I do think they're people that just they think they're better than they are. What it is.
Yeah.
Solitary Camp says soft Giants. And it says we still need a QB to throw in the ball. Yeah, well, we have enough. One of them is bound to work out, I hope, right? I mean, and he says Solitary Camp says Solitary Camp says just start Dart. I just it worries me with this line. It really does. Jason says McKinney looks like a stud, and then a genius move by Joe Shane. Here's the crazy part: he looked good at the Giant. Don't get me wrong; he looked like a stud. Like, let's not kid ourselves and say that this is the same McKinney that was in New York. And that's me blaming New York, not McKinney, for the record. On that.
Well, McKinney was the number 4 safety. It's part of the reason why the Packers looked after him. Like, his stat-wise, he was top 5 the past 2 years.
Yeah, but
so like
he wasn't doing all the picks and all he had last year and all, too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he got a lot of the buzz last year because of all the picks. He wasn't getting that with the Giants.
No, he wasn't. But that's also a different way they set, with a different that the defense is run. And also, it's kind of like who they're playing. Like, they're playing a lot of high-power offenses that throw the ball.
That's true. That is true. Mac, the Giants fan. What up, fellas? What's up, man?
Yo.
Deb says, Buddy Ryan was DC of the Oilers, and he got pissed off the way the offense was playing, so he punched Gilbride. Yes, same Gilbride the Giants had. Yeah, that's so classless. It's not even funny. You know what? It's shocking, but it's also not.
I just had to Google it. Yeah, it was a pretty bad punch, too.
I want to put it up, but I know we'd get in trouble for copyright infringement probably, so I just can't do it. Yeah, we definitely would.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I see other people do it all the time and they never get in trouble. And it's like, I know the one time we do it, we'll get in trouble. We did get one hit one time for putting a small clip of a college player up, even. So, I guess we're on the radar. The goofballs are on the radar.
Oh.
All right, let's get to the picks here, guys, because that's the fun part of today's episode. That's the big part here is the picks, which is a whole lot of fun for us whenever we do this here. You know what? Even I'm going to do this even. Whoop! Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's get into it. First off, let's go over the results for week 1. And let me put this as well, guys. I always say week 1 is a week that we don't like to gamble much. And this is partially why here. So the straight up picks we were fine on. 16 games. Rob got 9. I got 12. So I got 75%. He got 56 and a quarter. The spread picks, I'll be frank with you guys, we did horrendous. It's probably not the best way to start this video. People might be like, oh, screw it, I'm turning this off. No, we're better than this. I promise. It was a bad week. You and I both got 6 of the 16. But again, we bet on every single game as well on this. And I always tell people, like, I wouldn't bet in half these games, especially week 1. There was not a lot of games that I was like, this is the game, this is the game, that's the game. Like, there was not a lot of games that I was like dead set on, gambling on. But we always do it that way, every single one, regardless. On the over-unders, you got 7, I got 8. So I got 50%, you got 43 and 3/4. And you and I each got 3 games that we picked the same, straight up win, spread pick, and the over-under. So for the week, I got 29 points, you got 25 points. So I got to start with a little bit of lead here on the season. But it's time for week 2. Yeah, it's time for week 2. So listen, guys, as we're doing this, the first game's already going Thursday. So we'll go through this really quickly because, quite frankly, you're watching the game now while you're listening to us, or the game is over and you're watching it after the fact and you already know who won. So Commanders at Packers. As we're recording this, it's 14-13 at halftime. And listen, this is kind of what I expected the Packers to win. I think the Packers are going to crush the Commanders. I don't think the Commanders are nearly as good. I think it was just, more a matter of the Giants were that bad last week. And not to take away from the Commanders, it's just what it is. So yeah, Packers, and I got the under. I don't think I think this is two good defenses that are going to keep the scoring down, which so far it has. We'll find out how the second half goes.
I picked the over. I figured the first half is going to look like the way it did. But yes, I went Packers. I picked the over because I do think that now you're going to have the Commanders come from playing from behind, so they're going to throw the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there's going to go into a little bit more shootout to keep the lead of the score. But yeah, the Packers is the real deal. They look like one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best team.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels at halftime here, guys, was 49 yards. That's insane.
Yeah.
49 yards in the half.
Look at what they did last year. They started off real slow. We weren't sure what they're going to do. I think they were 3-3 at one point. Some teams just start off slow. Like, look at you, Cincinnati. You can't do it.
You know what the best way to not start slow is?
To win?
No. The best way to not start slow is play the Giants.
There you go.
Because they just crushed us in week 1. Apparently, we're like when like Alabama or like Georgia play Southwestern Polytech Christian University of Abilene. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Let's get on to our games that haven't happened yet. So, first up, go for it, Rob. I just did the first one.
Yeah,
You go.
I was about to say, 1 o'clock Sunday, you got the Bills going into MetLife playing the Jets. The Bills are 7-point favorites here. And the over-unders at 45.5 points. Yeah, this one's after the Bills coming off a pretty dominant game. You have to take the Bills here, but let's not forget the Jets played pretty well against a tough Steelers defense, and Justin Fields looked like a new. Looked like he knew what he's doing over there. So I want to take the Bills to win this game. I want to take the Jets to cover that because coming off that high game against the Ravens, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a little close, especially since the Jets seem to play them well at home. They don't win, but they play well at home. And I'm going to have to take the over in this game because I think Justin Fields got new life, and he enjoys playing with Garrett Wilson again.
So, I think there was a huge difference in this defense with the Jets from last year to this year. You know, and obviously Robert Saleh's gone. They've lost some of their defensive line. There's some changes overall to this defense as a whole. The Steelers put up a ton of points, guys. A ton of points against them. Plus, on top of that, the Bills just put up a ton of points against the Ravens, who are supposedly every year like one of the best defenses in the league. So I'm with you on the over 100% of that. That's the easy money pick to me in this game. Especially because the Jets actually put up a decent number of points against the Steelers too last week. And again, supposed to be a very good defense. That being said, I think the Bills are going to just absolutely trash the Jets. I really do. But, you know, we'll see. If division opponent, you never know. A lot of division opponents play it close. I can't believe in Justin Fields yet. I can't. And I know it's crazy for a Giants fan not to have faith in another team's quarterback. I just don't. So I think I got Bills, and the over. So you and me are same on 2 out of 3. Next up, we got the Browns at the Ravens. Speaking of another divisional matchup here, the pick is 12.5 point spread there for the Ravens to be given up. Like, that's ridiculous. 12.5 point spread. Like, that's what happens when a team plays the. That's like what happens when a team plays the Giants.
Oddly not.
45.5. That's the over under. So, to me, I'm going with the Ravens to win this. Let's be honest, guys. This is the better of the two teams. Though, the Browns, quite frankly, should have beat the Bengals last week. Missed field goal, had two different times that the ball bounced out of a receiver's hands into the team, like Wacko Flacco going back to Baltimore. You know, to me, I think they're going to beat the spread because 12.5 points is just insane. And I'm going to say the over. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm going the over, and that's probably the toughest bet on this. The spread pick is the one I think is the safest bet on this whole thing. So I'm going to go again. Ravens, Browns over.
I almost agree with you. Yeah, the spread is a little too much juice for me, especially that they do play each other pretty well in the first meeting typically. Like you said, the Browns should have won. Their defense looked pretty good. I think it's going to be one of those let's run the football, slow moving, methodical football until the very end. And I picked the under in this game.
Yeah, and like I said, that to me is the toughest of this whole one. So we'll see.
Up next, talk about another game that's probably going to be slow moving. You got the Rams going into Tennessee playing the Titans. The Rams are 5.5-point favorites on the road, so there's Vegas is saying it's going to be a blowout. And the over-under in this game is at 42.5. Sorry, just 42 in general, which 42.5. It doesn't matter to me. I still think it's the under. You got both defenses seemed to show up last week. The Rams shut down what could be a good Houston offense last week, which started off slow, if you will, but I think they had the moves to it. Like that front four really got after Stroud. And that being said, the Titans defense as well got after Bo Nix. How much is that Bo Nix being a sophomore going through is a little bit of a slump? How much is that the Titans defense stepping up against that front five against of Denver. So I want to go ahead and take the Rams in this game. I want to take the Titans to cover this because I do think it's going to be a closer game, and I'm taking the under.
So I think the biggest thing that I didn't like when I looked at the tape for what happened with Cam Ward in week 1 was he had a tendency to do something that I didn't necessarily see a ton in college, but it's the thing I saw when I watched Shedeur Sanders in college, oddly enough, is he was moving backwards when the pressure hit. You know, we mentioned it during the recap of last week. He literally took 1 sack for a 16-yard loss because he's moving back. He's already having issue with pressure. Offensive line isn't the greatest there in Tennessee. Not that ours is either. That's kind of a scary mix when you got an offense that's struggling. It's a team that, if healthy, can put up a lot of points. Now, the if healthy is the key part. With these Rams, you don't know. Stafford's had the back issues. You know, Nakua left the game at certain points yesterday. You know, Devontae Adams is like 57 years old at this point. I mean, like, you just don't know. Like, assuming they're healthy, though, this is a slam dunk win for the Rams in my eyes. And I have the Rams to win it. I have them to cover to the 5.5 points because that's not a problem at all. I got the under I'm going with on this because I do think that the Rams' young defense is going to do just enough to stifle that Titans offense. And the Titans are going to have to be a little patient with Ward. I think he's a little bit of a project that they're just throwing out there and hoping he gets it in a couple weeks. I don't think this is the week.
No. Tough 2 defenses to go out first.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a gauntlet to start your NFL career as a quarterback. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about another gauntlet of a matchup. Drew, it's you.
Oh, yes. The Patriots at the Dolphins. Another divisional matchup here. Guys, listen, was there a worse team last week than the Dolphins? Like, honestly. It made Daniel Jones look good. Like, that's bad. That's bad. And so I saw he was the Nickelodeon Player of the Week, by the way. Congratulations, DJ. I know they made such an award, but apparently they do.
He was the 3rd ranked QB in fantasy, behind none other than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Yeah, insanity. But, you know, the Dolphins this week obviously face the Patriots offense that, again, isn't a great offense, but neither is the Colts. I just can't think you have that large of a meltdown and then all of a sudden turn around and start winning. Like, I think there's something wrong in Denmark there. So I'm going to pick the Patriots to win this game. The Dolphins are actually getting a 1.5 because they're home. So Patriots covered, no problem at that point, because just by winning, they're up. And then I got the under on the 44.5 because the Patriots offense is not exactly prolific in week 1. I don't expect it to be quite yet. It's just not that good a team yet. And based on what the Dolphins did in week 1, I can't expect them to put any points up pretty much whatsoever. So, yeah, I got Patriots under.
Yeah. I I do think we're going to get the trifecta together in this one because I also, after what I saw last week, the Dolphins, by far the worst team in the NFL. Offense, defense, none of it was working, which is crazy because when you got Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill, you got A-Chain, you got Tua, who should be able to sling the ball, who looked like he did, looked like he met the ground pretty hard at one point. So let's see how he feels this week coming into this game.
Instead of slinging the ball, he's slurring his words.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Patriots, and I do think Drake May has the ability to turn around, and I do think Drake May is probably a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. So he's going to be able to throw the ball around. Is he going to make NFL history like Daniel Jones did and score on every single of his drives? Probably not. But I'm taking the Patriots to win this game, the Patriots to win in that little tiny spread, and I'm taking the under in this game. So it's the only thing that's working in Miami's favor. It's going to be like 105 degrees with 105% humidity going on down there, which coming from Boston, you're probably not going to feel too good.
Boston, and that is the stadium. Of course, there's like a 15-degree difference on the visitor side of the home side.
Yeah, so you're going to be smelling a lot of Sam Adams coming out of those boys.
Oh gosh,
those Oktoberfest guys.
Now,
up next,
before we get to the next one, gotta say a little thank you to Anthony for supporting the show again. There, 99 super chat, man. Appreciate your support as always. As he says, pay again. And like I said, guys, I do see all your comments here. By the way, we will get to all the comments here. We're gonna break in between the 1 and 4 o'clock to go break down your guys' thoughts on that as well. So do keep them coming here. Go for it, Rob. Now.
All right, our game. Obviously, we know we got the Giants going in to Dallas playing the boys, the Cow Pukes, if you will. The spread in this game is 5.5 points. It was 3.5 points before
50 points. You did say about 50 points.
I just want to say 50 points because that's about.
Might as well. We'll still pick the Cowboys.
Yeah. And the over under this game is at 44.5. Yeah, it's probably not going to look good. The Cowboys came out looking way better than I thought they would playing against the Eagles, the returning Super Bowl champs. I thought the defense was going to take a step back, but they played tough against the Eagles, who are high-power offense. Dak still is throwing the ball around, even though he looks like the Sloth or whatever his name was from the Goonies. Like, he was getting beat up. And the Giants, we saw what Russ Wilson looked like.
He got spit on even.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he was throwing the ball crazy. But Russ is going to start for us. He looks like he's probably going to come out in a wheelchair this week. Depends on our offense on how they're going to play. Like, are they going to be healthy? Like, our defense. It's a tough one. So, as much as a homer I am, I'm taking the boys to win this, and I'm taking the boys in the spread. I do think we're going to put up some points, unlike we did last week, but I just think there's going to be a lot more points put up on the board by the Cowboys. So I took the over.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd love to pick the Giants. I would love to pick the Giants. But I'm thinking with my head, not my heart here. Cowboys cover the spread, no problem. And I'm going with the under. Until we stop getting destroyed, I just can't. I can't get past how bad this team is right now. And I can't in good conscience tell you guys to go anything positive for the Giants here with gambling. So, we're going back to what we did last year. Remember last year, the Giants had a streak of like the unders of how many like weeks in a row. I'm going for it. This is the same offense from last year, basically. Just basically we got a shorter Daniel Jones.
Touche, but there's more hope down the road.
Yeah, that is. But it's down the road. It's not this week. So Cowboys under. And I hope I'm wrong, guys. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we come on here and say, I was so wrong in that game. Thank God.
Yeah.
I can't. So
we stay close enough to the spread.
Yeah, I'm not going to spread at this point. We'll get Detroit. Next up, we got the Seahawks at the Steelers. In the battle of the S teams. Shop smart, shop S smart.
You got that?
You're cool.
Groovy.
Listen, Anybody call having that kind of game for Aaron Rodgers against the Jets? Like, goddamn, guy played like he was like took like 5 years off of his career and is back to being 38 years old again.
That's because he got assaulted by Jets. So
yes.
he was
very personal.
He was on a mission.
Yeah, maybe what they needed to do is the Steelers need to tell him that the Seahawks said his mother was a hamster and his father ate the elderberries. That might do the trick there. If you get that reference as well. But anyway, listen, the Steelers look goddamn dominant against at least on offense, against what was supposed to be a very decent Jets defense. I think Aaron Rodgers knows this is his last hurrah. He wants to go out in a good swing here because obviously things didn't go well the last 2 years when it comes to, his time there with the Jets. You tend to, get remembered towards your latter end to a certain degree there. It takes like 5-6 years for people to go, oh yeah, that's to the end of his career. Let's go back to his prime. He was really damn good. He wants to be remembered well. Aaron Rodgers is an eagle like you wouldn't believe. I think he's going to go, just based on what we saw last week and the attitude he had afterwards about hating the Jets and all, I think there's a little bit of fire in him that we haven't seen the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks look bad.
They did.
So Steelers to cover the 3-point spread, and I'm going to go with the over. And the over is because of the Steelers, not even because of the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks get destroyed in this. I think Sam Darnold's getting shown point blank that he wasn't good last year. The team around him was.
Oh, 100% they were. That's just what Minnesota's been. But I do agree. You had a rage in Aaron Rodgers' eyes and his heart being insulted by the Jets. And it just New York media just saying he's garbage now.
Yeah.
I do think he's going to ball out this year. He did play pretty well last year towards the end of the year, but there was a lot of garbage time. But I do think he takes a step back in this game. It's not going to be that much. I think both offenses are going to try to go back to what they're talked about doing, is a run-heavy offense, which sets Aaron Rodgers to be better. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a slower pace of game. So I did take Steelers to win in this game because, like you said, Sam Darnold got shunned out. He got exposed. Yeah, he got exposed.
If it continues that way, again, could be just a bad game. It's week 1. Let's not be the overact people.
But I think Steelers win, Steelers cover, and I'm taking the under in this game. And that's not so much to say that the Steelers aren't going to put up points. It's so much that the Seahawks aren't going to put up points. But up next, we got the Niners going into Nolans. And listen, guys, if you're watching this now and still at this spread, you got 6.5 points on this game, favored to the Niners. Get on that action right away. And the over on this game is at 43.5 points. I'm taking the Niners to win this game because you're going to take a better class team 100% to win this game. But the Saints look good, and the Niners are beat up. I'm taking the Saints in the spread here. It's probably going to get juiced down before game day. It's about 3. So if you get it at 6.5, get it now. Because Purdy's doubtful.
Purdy's out. That's official. Purdy's out. Mac Jones is starting.
As a win, because when I looked an hour ago in Fantasy, which always has the up-to-date stats and all that stuff, he was listed as doubtful. But he said it was a long shot, is what Stranahan said.
Yeah.
But he's got Mac
Jones. They say could miss up to 5 weeks. And they're saying that he's week to week with a toe injury, and Mac Jones is expected to start. So when they say that, he's not playing. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Mac Jones will be the quarterback.
That's called doubtful.
I'm just saying, though, Mac Jones will be the quarterback. Doubtful by butt.
So don't say that they said he was out. They said he's doubtful.
That's like saying I'm doubtful. I'll flex.
That affects your betting odds. He's doubtful.
That's like saying I'm doubtful. I'm going to go ahead and start becoming.
It doesn't matter.
It's not going to happen.
That affects your betting odds. It affects your betting odds when you say he's out compared to doubtful.
He's out.
You can say he's out, but that's actually criminal because that's not what he is. Is he listed as out? No,
it's not criminal.
And it's betting. You can't say that. He's doubtful.
He's doubtful. Highly, highly, highly doubtful. Yeah. And they've already said point blank, expect Mac Jones to start and him be out for several weeks.
listen, you can't say that he's doubtful and have him as out because then that's illegal against betting odds. Vegas will be all over you. He is doubtful.
Yeah, well,
So,
luckily we're not stuck by legalities.
That's
Come get me, Vegas police.
Allegedly,
we have no jurisdiction.
Allegedly,
no jurisdiction here. I have diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity.
What is he? Lethal Weapon 2 here? Anyway, I'm taking.
Lethal Weapon 1. I thought
no, Scary Busey, that one, isn't it?
I thought that was 1.
No, because Family Guy sings about it. I got diplomatic immunity, like the guy in Lethal Weapon 2.
I'll look it up in the meantime. We're doing that.
Anyway, so I'm taking the Saints in 6.5. I'll take the Saints in 3.5, and I'm taking the under because there's a lot of injuries besides that toe. You have Kittle that's on IR.
Yep, he's out for a while, and McCaffrey is one cut away from being retired. So be honest,
you never count.
That's where it is.
Never count McCaffrey out until he's out. Even when he's doubtful, you can't count him out.
We'll see. Listen, you and I are on the same page in this one here. 49ers going to win. It's going to be closer than people think because of all the injuries, because they already weren't that good to begin with. I'm sorry, they still lost a lot of players. I still think they're one of the most overrated teams in all the NFL. So you got the Saints to cover, but then you also got the over-under. Definitely the under. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. This is going to be a old school, like 1 or 2 plays going to make the difference kind of play. And the 49ers have just enough better talent to go ahead and make a move here. And dare I say, Mac Jones is still better than any quarterback on the Saints roster.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's kind of crazy here. So next up, we have the Battle of the Cats. Meow. That's why I wore the shirt today. Star Cats. So you got the Jaguars at the Bengals here, guys. And listen, this time with a matchup nobody ever asked for. Anything with the Jaguars, basically. But the Bengals, let's be honest, that's only people doing the crazy. The Bengals are going to win this, guys. They're the better team. You got to expect a better team to win on a regular basis. Doesn't mean the Jaguars can't, but common sense tells you the Bengals are a better team right now. 3.5 point spread, guys. That's nothing. I will go with the Bengals. I think the Bengals are a little ticked off at themselves for what happened last week, quite frankly. Almost losing to the Browns and basically needing a lot of help from the Browns to win. So I think personally that the Bengals win. It's like pretty solidly. 49.5 is the over-under. To me, that's a little high. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think it'll be just a couple points short of it. So I'm going to go Bengals under.
We're pretty close on this game, but I do think it could go either way. Listen, know what's a fun fact about this?
50-50.
Yeah, it's a fun fact about this is that Trevor Lawrence nor Burrow has gone 2-0 since they came into the league, and they're facing down the barrel of one of these teams going 2-0.
Ooh.
So
first,
they both go to a slow start. They both have some weapons. They both put up a lot of points. I do see this as a shootout, but you're playing the Bengals at home, so you're gonna have to go with the Bengals on this one. They're looking like the proof point. You got the best matchup with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and then you throw Higgins in there. This is something. They both got terrible defenses, and I think this is the game where Hunter comes out a little bit and shows why he was drafted so high, because you got a terrible defense. Because you got a terrible defense, so you might as well take advantage of it. So I took the
best part of this whole thing is Jeff Burrow, though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah. So taking Bengals to win in the over, and I almost took the Jags to cover because it might be close, but I think it's probably going to win by 4. All right, up next, Lions, Cats, and Bears. Oh my! You got the Bears going to Detroit. The Lions are favored by 4.5 points, and the over/under in this game is at 47.5 points. This is a get-right game for the Lions. The Bears' offense did look better. Last few minutes these two teams had, they've won the over. So I'm going to go with the over in this one. This is also, I don't want to say like overreaction, little, it's a make or break kind of game for the Lions, because you lose this to the Bears, who you've had their number for quite some time. You just proved that your offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator you just lost were the reasons why you were so far of the past few years, and like count the Lions out. They're going to lose not lose the division. Oh, they're going to lose the division, but they're going to be at the bottom of the division. So I'm taking the Lions to win, but the Bears to cover. But I'm taking the over.
So I'm with you on one of them. I think the Lions win this. I think the Lions win this. I think it's kind of a get-right game because I just don't have any faith whatsoever in the Bears. You know, I've said it here multiple times. I will stand by it until proven otherwise, and gladly admit if I'm wrong. Caleb Williams is not a good quarterback, guys. He's been overhyped since the day he got to college football, let alone pro football. And if it wasn't for the fact that he had Jordan Addison that 1 year, he would not have been the first overall pick. The Bears, point blank, had a chance to get Jaden Daniels, and they messed it up. Point blank.
They done goofed.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with Lions to win, Lions to cover, and I'm also going to go with the under because I think this is going to be a get-right game for the Lions. But it's going to take a lot to get right enough to put up like 30, 40 points or something crazy again. And I have no confidence in the Bears to score a ton of points. Still. Not unless you Caleb Williams actually playing good when it matters. So, yeah, Lions, under. All right, before we get to the 4 o'clock, I promise you guys we'll go over the comments here. I will say I don't know if we're going to get to them all because you guys got like a page of comments because you are going back and forth about the game here too. So let's see here. Let's get to where we were here. Let's see here. Mac the Giants fan, sorry about the Buddy Ryan punch. It was so funny. It was a stereotypical old man punch.
It was.
Jay says, wow, Drew sold more tires than Rob sold vacuums. Nice picks. Oh, my. And you get a tire sound, like maybe like a vroom, vroom, vroom. You know what they do with a gun to get the love nuts off there? Yeah. Jay says, do you guys have any in-house competition on your picks? We did last year, if you remember. We did a couple of weeks. We did like you had to eat disgusting things if you lost kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know I had to do anchovies. You had to do crickets. Yeah, that's right. You had to do a chocolate cover crickets. I had to do anchovies. And I had durian, the stinkiest fruit known to man. Is that the ones we did? Or was there another one?
We did some more. I forget what it was. You ate more that year.
I had the two things. I had the anchovies, I had the durian. I think we just ran a disgusting thing. So listen, if you guys can recommend something that we can get that's disgusting food-wise on Amazon, so that way it's easily accessible to Rob or I, we will gladly make the loser eat whatever that disgusting thing is, assuming it's something that is actually safe for human consumption and will not cause explosive diarrhea. Just throwing that out there. I know better than Jason, like, give me something like weird, like a shoe. Like,
swig a whole bottle of X-Lax.
Jason's the Red Sox. Red sticking stuff there. They beat our ass last week. Yes. Yeah. Jace, it's because we suck, Anthony says. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. You guys are going through talking. Let's get to Jason. What's all the money at the bottom of the screen? Is that the money Drew suckered out of us for this weird robot dance? Oh my God. Anthony said I picked the Cowboys, my weekly pick and pull. Deb says all about the money he's betting on the Giants to beat the Cowboys. Yeah, no way in hell. Anthony says you still call that dance. Jay says this game was weird. The cadence of it, the Redskins are still in it, but it feels like a blowout. Weird things happen in games like that. Well, so far it's just been more weirdness for them. So let's see here. Jay says, Deb, we're gonna start watching Daniel Jones if we go down 2-3 scorers. What's your second team to watch? Oh my God. Jeff says I kind of follow the Bills, Packers, Vikings. I follow certain players to love the game. That's the way we all are. And I gotta say that's one of the things I actually will say point blank is like one of the worst parts of being a content creator because like we have to focus so much on the Giants you lose some of the other stuff in the process. Except for Rob, I can see us looking at the game above him.
Yeah. The one I'm staring at the moon over here. It's fantastic.
I say, either that or like there's a TV on the ceiling the way you're opening your eyes up like that there. Let's see here. So Anthony says, Jay, do those tires come pre-poked with screws? And Jason's road hazard included. Now you pay again. Let's see here. You guys are mostly going back and forth with each other here. We got to go to 4:00 games here. Anthony says, I honestly don't think we see Russ in the Chiefs game. I also think the only way to keep Dak from thrashing us would be if our dope of a DC actually provides pressure. Well, listen, guys, one thing I'll tell you about this, and I don't know if it's going to happen this week, and I don't know if it's something that we even care about anymore at this point there, if it gets to that point, but let's be very frank. The whole reason Wink is not there anymore, besides the fact that he was the head coach, is because of the fact that Dable told him point blank to change his defense and stop doing man coverage with our crappy corners. So Dable's already shown he will meddle in defense, which is crazy because it's really he knows nothing about defense whatsoever, pretty much. He's always been on the offensive side. Like, don't get me wrong, he knows more than the average person. I'm trying to say that, but it's not like he got his coaching licks there playing defense. He got it all playing all coaching offense there. So, but he will meddle in there and say point blank, "Hey, this sucks. You need to change this." He's done it. Cost him a DC. Cost him a DC that a lot of people like, but he will do it. Jace's flock covering Pickens is not good, man. Could be worse. Could be Banks. Anthony says 100% going to need help, and Debo might need help from a safety too. Again, that's the one I'm worried about more. A Debo on CD Lamb. We'll see. Jason, that's like leaving Rob alone with your DoorDash order. The damage will be fast and violent.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Mike Castle, here we come.
Anthony says, especially if it's from Olive Garden. I feel like that's going to be the new thing now, is every episode they're going to say that you enjoy Olive Garden.
We're going to the Olive Garden.
My God. As Jason, Mac Jones is better than anyone thinks. Are you suggesting that having the offensive coordinator duo of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge is bad for the development of a quarterback? Just saying. As Deb says, please don't start the Olive Garden thing yet. Oh my God. Let's see here. Jason's not saying he's amazing talking about Mac Jones or anything, but he's a perfect backup for Shanahan. I mean, listen, Mac Jones, I think he never really got the face shake, I think. I do. Deb says, Rob doesn't know the doubtful equals out.
Listen, I do fantasy football, and it's about 60% of the times is when they're out. So you can't say it because of Vegas. That's all I'm saying.
Let's see here. As Jason notices, I love Shanahan. And Jake says, guys almost never play when they're doubtful. Jason says, don't worry, we got the quarterback guru Dable. And Jason, unless they got the perfect mix of painkillers, I think it happens like 1 or 2 times a year in the NFL. Yeah, that's it. Let's see here. Trying to get out of the game talk here. Let's see here. Got cheap followers apparently on Twitch. Let's see. Chase Snow says, do you have those inflatable guys in front of your tire shop? I don't work at a tire shop, so no, I don't, I guess.
Shane Gillis' brother over here.
Let's see. He says you're really going to read all the spam comments. Yes, I am. Yeah. Gonna read all of them. But yeah, like I said, let's get into the 4:00 games here, guys. First off, you got the Panthers at the Cardinals, which thank God the mascots aren't fighting. Because if you think there's a chance in hell that a Cardinal's ever going to beat up a Panther, no, that's not going to work out very well, guys. So clearly, because of that, we will have to pick the Panthers. No, we're going to pick the Cardinals. At least I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I don't want to blow up Rob's spot here. But Cardinals, I think, are going to win. Listen, they struggled a little more against the Saints than I expected them, that's for sure. But the Panthers did not look good against the Jaguars. They looked really bad. So I guess it's the battle of didn't look good versus looked horrible. And that's where I'm kind of down to at this point there. So Cardinals, I got to win, especially because they are at home. It's a 6.5 point spread favoring the going the 6.5 points going to the Cardinals. To the Panthers. So I still think the Cardinals will win by at least a touchdown. So I got them on that. The over under is 45.5. I'm going to go the under because I don't think either one of these teams are going to put up a ton of points.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. I took cards in the under. That was just a pitiful outing by Bryce Young. You would think you would have to bench him this week in order to start playing better for the rest of the year. That defense did not look that good either from the Panthers. So yeah, it was a bad look all around. I agree.
Bryce Young definitely had some shortcomings in that game.
Hey, I see what you did there. I mean, it's about.
Oh my God! Hold on, I just thought of something. Is this the match? Is this the shortest quarterback duo matchup in NFL history?
It could be.
This could be the battle of the shortest goddamn quarterbacks in NFL history.
I mean, did Russ ever play Drew Brees? Because then that's up there.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they would have to.
They're both in the same time frame.
Although these
guys are shorter.
A little fun fact: this is the last game where we're talking about number one overall quarterbacks that were taken. There's 8 of them, and there's 8 of them that are matched up this week in 4 different games.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, Burrow. You got Cleve Williams and Jared Goff. You also got Stafford playing Cam Ward, which are drafted 16 years apart, which is crazy. And then Bryce Young and Kyle Murray. So
yeah,
how the mighty have fallen. That's all I have to say there.
Yeah. And then in our matchup, of course, you have a 3rd round quarterback versus a 4th round quarterback.
Yippee.
That's a little weird.
Yeah. All right, up next. You got the Broncos playing the Colts, the DJ Colts.
The DJ Colts. Oh my God.
Yeah. The Broncos are favored 2.5 points in this game, and over under is just a lovely 43 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't expect DJ to return. I'm taking the Broncos to win this game. I'm taking the Broncos to cover, and I'm taking the under. I think this is a return to reality. DJ is one of those quarterbacks that will look great one week and look ass the next week. As Giants fans, we know that. He played a terrible defense last week, and guess what? He's playing an amazing defense this week. So, yes, He is playing at home in an opener, but don't expect DJ the ball. Expect him to cry and run a lot.
Coming back down to earth.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at the comments here. We'll get into a second here, but so yeah, it's Broncos are going to crush the Colts, guys. Absolutely crush the Colts. So yeah, Broncos over. I mean Broncos under, because the Colts are going to come down and crash and earth. It's such an obvious one. It's not even funny. Let's see here. Jason says, "Wait, you don't sell tires?" Now I'm all confused. Jay says he's a content creator. AC pays his bills. He sells tires too, but he denies it because he thinks he is the Bobby Skinner stratosphere in full time. Anthony says, pretty spot on, Shay. Jay says, damn, Bryce Young was bad last week. Anthony says, I wonder how Rob feels tonight that the bashing isn't against him. That's also because
it was kind of lonely.
Was bad. Like Jason's, imagine they tell their friends to watch the show, so just us bash them in the comments with inside jokes. First, to clarify, I do not work at a tire shop,
and he has no friends.
And I have no friends. The scary thing is, I'm at that point in my life. My circle has definitely gotten way too goddamn small, but on purpose. But yeah, I will say this, and this will probably continue, Jay, going even crazier here. Up until early this year, I did work for a company that sold tires plus some other things as well, and ran stores for them specifically as a store manager. But I do work for a different company now that does not do tires and car repairs, maintenance, but it's in the automotive industry still. I'll leave it at that. So, but oh my gosh. And yeah. And the crazy thing is, I'm in Florida, so most of the friends I have down here are the Giants fans. So they don't even watch the show. So, anyway, on to the next one here. The 425 game. There's only one 425 game, too, which is just weird because they get extra Monday night game. The Eagles at the Chiefs in the matchup of the Super Bowl rematch, except this time it's in Kansas City. And you know what that means. Good barbecue. So we got... I'd love to tell you it's going to be different, guys. I'd love to tell you it's going to be a different outcome. But I honestly don't think that the Eagles will leave Kansas City without a win. I really don't. I think the Eagles win this one. I think 1.5 point spread will not change my opinion on who I'm going to do for spread picks. So I'll keep with the Eagles on that one. I also think that when you go to the over-under, it's 45.5. I got the over on this. I think there's going to be some decent points. I really do. So we'll see.
Yeah, it is definitely a rematch. Chiefs got a little upset last week, if you will, losing to the Chargers in Minnesota. Worthy went down and got me 0 points in fantasy. That was fantastic. Needed that. But I still have to go with Chiefs. They're going back home. The Eagles didn't look that great last week either. They put up a lot of points against the Cowboys, who is arguably a worse team what they were last year, and they beat them better last year. I'm still taking the Chiefs to win this game. That 1.5 points is nothing. So you have to take them, especially since the Eagles are favorite. And then I'm with you with the over. I'm going to go with the over here because I do think it's going to be back and forth. I don't think it's going to be as exciting game as the Bills-Ravens games, but of last week, but it's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think the biggest question here that really football fans want to know is, at this game, will Taylor Swift be there showing off her engagement ring? I think that's the really thing that football fans want to know.
100%, without a doubt.
Yes. We want to hear more about the story and with the wedding plans. And you know what's going to happen if she's there. You know it. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be talking about T Swift nonstop. But let's talk about Sunday Night Football, because you got the Falcons going to Minnesota, don't you know?
Don't you know, there?
Oh yeah, they're playing the Vikings. The Vikings are favored at 4.5 points at home with the over under at 45.5 points. JJ did not look good for 3 quarters, and then he looked great. He showed why he was drafted where he was at. Penix Jr. should have won that game, and he did win that game, but the Falcons lost that game for him. Played balling out. I'm taking the Vikings to win because they're at home, and they're playing, they are playing a tough Falcon team, but I don't know if they quite have what it takes to cover this game. So I'm taking the Falcons to squeeze in a close game, and I'm taking this in the under because I think it's a little bit more of a defense game showing up, and they're going to probably try to run that ball a little bit more and squeeze in some throws.
I feel like this is a game that's basically, it's not even the quarterback, which one do you trust more. I actually trust Penix more. I trust the Vikings, though, as a team more than I trust the Falcons as a team. And that's what this all boils down to. This is a point blank a game I would not bet a penny on, though.
100%.
But again, we got to do every one. We're doing every one here. So I'm with you on a lot of this here. In fact, I'm with you just about all. Vikings to win, Falcons to cover the spread. I think it's like a field goal kind of difference there, which should be crazy if the Falcons lose back-to-back weeks by a field goal. But I do have the over. I think there's going to be a good amount of points here thrown up. I think this is actually going to be like something's changed in JJ there in that fourth quarter, and he realized all of a sudden he has a lot of good weapons around. And it doesn't take a lot of points, let's be honest, guys, to do 45. I know as Giant fans, that seems crazy. Like, that's really, you're still talking 3 touchdowns a piece and a field goal. Like, and just one other thing besides that. That's it. That's not like craziness there. So, yeah. Vikings, Falcons, over. Next up.
JJ, can you throw it to JJ and get me some fantasy points? Thank you very much. All right.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Next up, we got the Buccaneers at the Texans. They got the Pirates versus the cattle prodders. I was going to say Cowboys, but that'd be a different team entirely. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a different name for them. I'm not that inventive. Listen, it's a 1.5 point spread, and somehow the Texans are getting the 1.5 point, which is just absolutely insane to me. It's a 44.5 over under on this. There's not a single doubt in my mind that the Buccaneers are going to win this game. I'm really confident this game is actually the one I feel the strongest on, which is going to be funny because I know that you and I are disagreeable here, Rob, potentially. Buccaneers to win. Buccaneers to easily cover the spread. But I am going the under on the points. There's just something about this Texans offense that's just a little bit off last year. Now you throw in the fact that they've lost even more help in this offensive line. Like, the Texans are doing what I complained earlier the Jets did to Mark Sanchez. Like, they're taking away all his protection over the last 2 years, basically. This line is getting worse and worse. Why the hell would you trade away Laramie Tunsil? Dumbest move ever. I don't care if he's upset. You figure out how to make it work. Point blank. So, Bucks under.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you with the under here, but I think the Texans defense really showed what they had there last week by stopping the Rams, Puka Nacua and all of them. I think CJ Stroud looked better than he did last year with less of that protection. They have the weapons. They're healthy. So I'm taking the Texans at home and losing an upsetting game on the road. You got the Buccaneers, who were just in Atlanta, were they not? Now they're playing a second road game. So doing the traveling, granted, it's not that far. I'm taking the Texans to bounce back in this game. And obviously, they're going to have to cover because, yeah, they win, they cover. And I'm taking the under because I don't think it's going to be the highest scoring game. I think it's more of a defensive battle this week.
All right.
Last game of the
week. Last
East
Monday night game. There's 2 of them, guys. 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So expect to get some sleep if you can on the weekend so you can stay up late on Monday. Because Tuesday will be the officially I'm tired as crap at work day.
Yeah, Tuesday's the new Monday. It's cool. But anyway, 10 o'clock, you got the Chargers playing the Raiders.
The Chargers.
You got the Electric Bolt playing the Land Pirates. Arg. The Raiders are favorite 3 points on the road. It is a divisional game. A lot of people forget about that. And you got the over-under at 45.5 points. This game screams under to me whatsoever, without a doubt. These teams both like to run the rock. They both couldn't throw it too well, even though Herbert looked pretty good throwing that ball. I am taking the Chargers to win this game because it looks like Harbaugh did the right job, and they seem confident in that offense. They just beat up on the Chiefs, who have been a great team for the past 5-6 years at this point.
Yeah.
Phenomenal team, some would say. But don't count out Sneaky Pete because I think it's going to be a close game, and I hedge my bets by taking the Raiders. The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah, glow sticks, guys. Watch out.
in the spread. So I'm to go with the Chargers, Raiders in the under.
Yeah. Listen, I'd love to go ahead and go for the Raiders here, but I can't do it. I can't go for the Raiders. The Chargers, point blank. I'll tell you, this is a team that I think it takes a good jump this year. Is the Chargers. I really do. The second year with Harbaugh there. I got the Chargers to win. I got the Chargers to, go ahead and cover the spread of 3 points, no problem whatsoever. I got the under on the points. I really do think something's going to happen with the Chargers. Like, I know a lot of people think that the Chiefs are going to not win this division and take a step back this year. It's kind of like a popular thing to say. I'll wait before I say that until proven that that's what's going to happen because they've got a track record. But if there's a team that's going to go ahead and take away that AFC West crown, it's going to be the Chargers. I'm telling you guys, this is a team that was ready to win. All needed was a good coach. Now, 2 years later, they got some of Harbaugh's guys on there. They got the second year in the system. This year, the Chargers are going to make a difference. I'm telling you. So, Chargers under.
Julio.
So we'll see who's right, and then when I am, we'll find out what we do from there. No.
Yeah.
Again, guys,
was confident.
We'll do, like I said, we'll do something next week if you guys want us to do, like Jay suggested, like some kind of internal bet like that. Like I said, if you guys think of a disgusting food item that we can get off of Amazon that is human grade.
So cream of
safe to
herring,
eat.
gross.
Yeah. Like we'll do it. And it also can't be ridiculously expensive. Like can't be like Russian caviar, that kind of thing. So, but again, guys, we'll be back again for you guys on Sunday. We go over all of the action here with the game. Now, keep in mind, we will also go ahead and I'll be live for the play-by-play with you guys here. Rob and I will together be doing the post-game as well for you guys. So we may have a guest on as well. There's a couple people we are talking to with that stuff as well. So we may have some guests on Sunday too. So keep an eye out. Again, best way to know when we go live, that way is to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell on YouTube. Again, we are going to be live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going all throughout the season here. And of course, game day coverage as well with the play-by-play and the post-game coverage there. We're always live on YouTube, the preferred platform here, along with, of course, Facebook, X/Twitter, Twitch. I keep want to say Twix, like the freaking candy bar snacks to show that. And then, of course, as always, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we're available next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there. So if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share. Guys, we will see you guys again on game day on Sunday when we celebrate going 0-2. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. And as always, Giant fans,
Go G-Man!
Go G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you.